What's up, folks? Welcome back. In this video, we're checking out the music from Meychan. The song is called Shutter Chance, which is actually the opening for a new TV anime series called 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. All right, I'm excited. Let's go. Feels like a game. The clicks. I like it. Nice keyboard to voice relationships there. Cool groove established. Obligatory staccato hits. We'll go back and talk about it in a second. Fun percussion. Bass player, man, let's go. That's cool. Cool lines within the chord progressions. Okay, back to it. And there's the groove we had at the beginning. Let's talk about it, though. I feel like it's pretty blatantly obvious where the tone is, right? This is an upbeat, it's happy sounding, it's very J-pop-esque with some funky stuff going on underneath, like funky bass lines and cool synth stuff happening. Like, I would love to play on a track like this because it's very fun for the musician standpoint. However, this is super interesting in the beginning. These first like chunk of bars right here, it feels like a video game. Ascension, more. You know, and it has like all those like cool like digital sounds in the back. I was like, whoa, where are we going? But it was pretty cool because you had to like tune in immediately because there's like all those like background sounds. But then it's kind of just synth piano and voice, and they kind of set the tone immediately for where the song is gonna go. Right here. We get harmony right away, and then. Yeah, boom, 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 click, 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 whatever's going on. I'm not reading the lyrics. For me, for like first time listening, like layered analysis, I just tend to focus on what does the voice sound like? What do the intervals sound like? How is that like with the composite of what the music is? That's just my style. I know that's not for everybody, but it definitely is for me. It's cool though, right? We see where we're going. It's about to get crowded though, not crowded in a bad way. We got like a jet airplane flying by sound that happened, and it gets super funky with like lines interacting with each other. Try to listen for this one. Listen down below the voice. Listen to all the instrumental layers that are going on. Once we get into this, here we go. Funky lines, man. Cool use of ensemble rhythms there, obviously. I feel like it's blatant. All right, now listen in. That's cool. Like, okay, the jet was from right to left. It wasn't from left to right. It doesn't really matter. The fact that it flew across, though. But then you're hearing like little guitar lines and then like this interactive synth line too. There's so many things happening. There's no way you'd ever catch that on the first pass or second or maybe even third, because I think most people are probably just listening to the melody of the vocal line. That's 40 seconds. Let's go back to like, I don't know, 27. Again, continue to listen down underneath it. Massive interaction. Now that time I kind of listened to both. I was kind of like bouncing between the middle line because there's so much like left speaker, right speaker, synth line things happening with how that supports the vocals on top. And it's interesting if you think about it because there's so much happening. You're like, well, how does like the foundation not like juggle too much? It works really well with this, especially within kind of like a pop type of feel, because the progression chord wise, the progression is not super complicated. All the sounds and like how it's being like, I don't know, filled out within your ears, kind of complicated. I don't mean complicated in difficulty. I mean complicated in how many ingredients are in there to listen to. So that gives like massive replay value. It completely depends on the type of listener that you are. If you come to my channel, you used to be kind of a passive listener and you probably have an interest in more active listening. Some people come in though and they're like, oh, well, this is this is not for me, and they click out and they're like, no, man, I just want to put music on and just let it go. Obviously, the channel here is about listening down and just kind of appreciating more, because I promise you, you will discover so many more elements within the tune, especially how they relate to, like, this is from anime. We do a lot of anime music on the channel, a lot of story-based music. You will hear like layers that are clearly there and meant for you that like have context clues. And that obviously brings us to context bias, because with all of that, you might find context clues that weren't even meant to be there, but since you've seen something or you relate to the topic, you'd be like, oh, this part in the music means that. But that's part of the fun, right? That's part of the discovery. Anyway, within this, what we're trying to say is it's borderline, not jumbled. It's like organized jumbled though, but it works really well. And still, the bass player part, in my opinion, obviously biased, but this would be really, really fun to play on. Cool little bend there. Now that section right there, those are cool lines, man. That's like some George Michael stuff. Like, I felt like we're kicking it back a little bit 80s there. Now the vocals, like for my personal taste, they're super saturated right there, which I know normally I'm like, oh man, that's a little hard. But with the type of synth line that we got, it made complete sense, especially with the bottom falling out, because you notice percussion is gone. The main bass line is gone. So we have this like deviation in the groove that was kind of being spoon-fed to us, even though it was super complicated, right? Remember, not complicated in difficulty, complicated in the amount of layers. Suddenly it drops out. But then it's like that aha moment of like, oh, that's like done on purpose, like massively, because it just brings you right back in. So as the listener, you kind of have to reset. Even if you're passively listening, you're still going to reset a tiny bit. Let's go back 5 seconds and we'll let it keep going this time. Very good choices. I mean, I'm not singing it right, but what a primo like chorus, man. Like everyone, you hear it once or twice. I'm not like, I'm more like, oh, I'll play it back for you. I'm not like, I'm going to sing it. Like, I'm not a karaoke person. But most of you probably are. You're going to hear that line and be like, oh, that's the hook, dude. Like, that's a hook you're going to grab onto. So the design is very purposeful and, in my opinion, very successful for what they're trying to do here. Very straightforward rhythms. Soars over the chord progression. And that fucking jams, man. That's cool. The effectiveness of bump, 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 bump. Ensemble hits, short staccato. Staccato meaning short and just detached sound, like everyone in the band plays it. That's very, very, very successful design. You could have just kept on the groove. Sure, that would have worked too. But this makes those little pattern interrupts be a lot more valuable, in my opinion. It's just an opinion, right? It's just like, from a lot of time spent playing and recording stuff. Like it happens all the time, and it's not. None of this stuff is on accident. It's all there, very, very purposeful. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the next section. Okay, bass. Okay, bass. That was sick. Similar material. We're gonna drop back to the chorus. Yeah. Oh, that's the best part of the tune, man. I love that so much. It was super short, but it was very sweet. Let's go back to it was like 126-esque that happened. Did you hear the bass player? They got so many good little lines there. Even back. Let's go like 122. Here we go. Just listen down to the bass player. They get to dig in so much. It's cool. And if you're going to hear that, you're obviously going to hear the contradiction to that is the vocal line. ba-da-da-da-da-dee-da. Like we had nothing delivered like that previously. So it feels for like a great, potentially like this nice little bridge section where I would have loved it have been longer, but like, okay, cool. This is like the cool, fun dance section of this. Yeah, dude, like the band's gonna go crazy. Yeah. The interval jumps in the end of the vocal line there. That was cool too, but I can't not think about what would be going like drum is gonna be like if you played this live, it would just be out of control and you'd like probably loop that bridge for a while because you get that would be the key that unlocks the crowd. Like the chorus is already a hook, but that bridge is pretty explosive. So definitely hats off to the design team there. That was very, very fun. I know I'm like, oh, it's too short. It's fine. It makes complete sense. Go back about 7 and let's keep going here. Fun leaps, man. The camera sounds. All right, that worked. Click, dot. Dotted 8 to 16. No, we talk about that rhythm all the time. We get it in so many pieces of music. But again, it is a great pattern interrupt. It's a very, very simple groove. It's super tangible. Like the reason pop music, kind of works as pop music is because it can really bring the masses in. Like if we wrote some like wicked hard, like crazy rhythms there, people would be like, what are you doing, bro? I'm trying to dance. Like, I remember my first like gigs I would get as like when I was in college, like it was in my undergraduate and was playing some dance gigs and I was playing bass and the drummer was like, what are you doing? Like I was trying to like be cool. And they're like, what? Like, are you trying to mess the dance floor? Like, don't do that. Like, just play in the pocket. Like, I just remember getting like chewed out by this person and being like, oh, okay. Like I was thinking about me too much and not about what the goal of the music is. So that's what we talk about these kind of things. Cause conceptually, like pop music is like a huge net you're casting to everybody to bring in, obviously not like everybody, but a majority, and it's got to be accessible on the first listen. So that is why I will always, talk in favor of these, about why they're successful and how they work. Let's keep going. Back 10. And obviously the camera sound is like cute, Put that, okay. And then we come in with some altered and augmented sounds into probably what I assume would be our last chorus. However, we got the boom, cha, boom. So that's just putting the emphasis of the beat on 2 and 4. That's all that did. However, it's a gargantuan shift. Like tempo didn't change. Time signature did not change. We just like displaced where, normally like 2 and 4 is a backbeat, but that felt more like a kick drum sound, which you normally would get on beats 1 and 3. So you're really just kind of reversing the role right there. Let's see. This is 226. Let's at least get, if we're going to talk about it, we should at least get that experience again. This might be back too far. I apologize if it is, but should be okay. 4, 2, 4. Feel that difference though, you know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna push to the way out. Well, there you go. You have to let me know down in the comments below what you think about the song and have you watched this anime yet? Please and thank you. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. Come watch some anime with me on the Patreon. Link for my socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channels, and catch you next video. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these 2 videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.